What's going on everybody, my name is Rico, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my channel is about vlogs, series and tutorials. And in this episode of Hot Thursday, I'm going to show you guys how to color grade like Schindler's List. And this is the image that we're going to work with. Let me show you guys the end result. So here's the end result, and I've based this end result on a famous scene from Schindler's List, which is this scene with the girl with the red jacket. So I've already taken a snapshot of this, so let me go back to the image that we will be working on. And let me show you guys the comparison with the snapshot that I've just taken. So let me move this to the right. So on the left is our source image, and on the right is the image how it's turned out. The jacket is a little bit too red, but you can tweak this any way you like, so I'm not going to be bothered with that. So here's the source image again, and this is the end result. So let me deselect the snapshot, let me go back to the original, and let me hit the compress history stack. Now if you want to follow along, I've put all the modules that we're going to use in the favorites menu. If you don't see them over here, you can find them in the groups over here, or you can go to more modules and then you can find them in the list down below. So without further ado, let's start with the first module, and the first module is the low pass module, which is the module right here. I'm going to activate it, and now the image is very blurry, but instead of a radius of 10 we are going to use a radius of 2. So the image is still clearly visible, but it's a little bit softer than before. Let me show you guys a before and after. So here's a quick before, and now let me activate it. And here's a quick after. So that's the first module that we're going to use. And the next module that we're going to use is the contrast, brightness and saturation module. So let me activate it. And for this I'm going to pick the drawn and parametric mask. Now what I want to do is I want to create a mask around the jacket of the girl, and I want to desaturate the entire image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of contrast. And if you don't know how to do this, you can pull the sliders to the right or to the left. I like to use my right mouse button, and then I can use the numpad to fill in the words. For me that's the most quickest way to do this. So I'm going to add a little bit of contrast. I'm going to keep the brightness at 0, but I'm going to change the saturation to -1 because I want to make a black and white image. But now what I want to do is I want to draw a mask around the jacket of the girl. So I'm going to zoom in the image by scrolling the mouse wheel button away from me, and I'm going to hit the path tool, and now I'm going to draw a path around the jacket of the girl. I'm going to fast forward this so you guys don't have to wait for me, and I'll talk to you in a bit. And you can close the mask by hitting the right mouse button, and now as you can see the jacket is black and white and the rest of the image is full in color. But I want to achieve the complete opposite because I want to have the jacket in color and the rest of the image in black and white. So for that I'm going to the combine masks, and I'm going to pick exclusive and inverted. And now the jacket is still in color and everything else is in black and white. You can see a little bit of bleeding over here. You can change the feathering by hitting the shift key and then scrolling the mouse wheel button away from you, so the feathering will decrease. Now let me zoom in the image just a bit more from here. Go to 200%, then place it on the jacket where the bleeding occurs. And what you can do now is you can grab these points and move them inwards a little bit to any place that you like, and that will make sure that all the bleeding is gone in the image. So I'm going to speed it up, show you guys the end results, but I did want to show you guys this so you know how this works if it ever happens to you. There we go. Now let's click this symbol right here, and now the mask is being deselected. I can't change the points anymore. I want to go to this symbol right here and hit new instance. That will create a second contrast, brightness and saturation module. And what I want to do is I want to change the brightness to -0.2. So that darkens the image just a little bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to close this module, and we are going to the color zones module. We're going to activate it, and we are going to change 2 areas. The first one is the saturation menu, and the second is the hue menu. So let's just start with the saturation menu. What I want to do is I want to use the color picker, place it on the jacket, to see where the saturation is at, which is over here. So let's just create a point and drag it up like so. I'm going to add another point over here because we will be turning the jacket a little bit more red. And I'm going to place a point down here to place it back onto the middle line like so. And now the saturation has increased in the jacket of the girl. So let's go to the hue and let's change the color a little bit. And for that, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we know where the colors are, which are over here. And I want to have them more in the red. So I'm going to add another point. I'm going to drag it into the reds like so. I'm going to add a second point over here. And I'm going to drag it back on the line to even out the line again. And that looks pretty red. So let me get rid of the color picker and let me close down the color zones module. Final thing that I want to do, or that I want to change to this image, is the black point. Because if we use the snapshot from our source image, we're going to move to the side. We see that the blacks are being crushed over here and they're not as crushed over here. So we are going to change that by changing the black point. So let me deselect the snapshot. Make sure that when you continue editing that you've selected the last edit that you've done. If you selected one of the others, everything above it will be gone. So just make sure that in this case you've selected the color zones. Now let's just go to the exposure module. Let me activate it. And there's two things that I want to do. I want to change the exposure, I want to darken it a little bit, and I want to change the black level. So for the exposure, we're going to hit -0.5 to really darken the image, but to level it out just a little bit, we're going to change the black level. Easiest way to do this is to just hit the right mouse button, and for this we're going to fill in -0.0086, and watch what happens to the blacks. There you go. Now the blacks have become a lot more soft. Now let me show you guys the source image and let me show you guys our image. And as you can see, the images match perfectly. The only thing that doesn't match is the brightness of the red jacket in comparison to the red jacket of the girl. I'm not going to change that because this is my own creative touch to this style of image. So let me deselect the snapshot and show you guys the final result again. So this is the final result. I'm going to take a snapshot to show you guys a before and after. So let me select the snapshot and let me select the original and let me show you guys the difference. So here's the girl with the yellow jacket and everything in color. Now let me move the slider to the right. Same goes for the little girl. It's black and white, nice and grungy. And I think this looks absolutely amazing and resembles a scene of Schindler's List. And that's it. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. That's it for this week. If you've got any questions other than the questions about this tutorial, let me know in the comment section down below as well. And I guess there's just one more thing left for me to say, which is make love to the like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Hit that bell button to be the first to be notified when I drop in a video. And until next time, doei!